Here's what I want you to know about how I got here. It wasn't the perfect strategy. It wasn't the perfect funnel. It wasn't the perfect plan. It wasn't experience. It wasn't training. It wasn't certifications. It was just a willingness to be brutally honest with myself about what I wanted and feel all of the emotion that came up from that honesty, and having the audacity and the courage to say yes to myself over and over and over and over again. Hello, icons. This is a really special episode of the Audacity podcast because it is my last episode as a 41-year-old. My birthday is tomorrow, and I kicked off the birthday week festivities by booking a facial at Rescue Spa yesterday. And we need to talk about it because when I was there, I had the most surreal moment, and I have to share it with you. If you've never been to Rescue Spa in Philadelphia, it's this beautiful 2-story spa inside an old historic mansion right off of Rittenhouse Square. It's gorgeous, overlooking the green, lush park. And when you walk into the spa, it's all marble and black and gold, opulence, luxury. It smells amazing. You just feel like $1 million when you walk into that space. So this is where I went into yesterday to get my facial, and I walk up the stairs. They take me to the waiting area. I have a glass of crystal infused mineral water that I'm drinking as I'm overlooking the park from the second story until Vita comes to get me for my facial and walks me back down the hallway to the treatment room. I'm going to include a photo. I snapped a photo of myself after my facial, so you can see the hallway to the right of me in this photo. And by the way, you have to check it out because my fit was fire. The column dress and the hat, like this outfit was chef's kiss. Absolutely amazing. So I will make sure this photo is included in the show notes. But you'll see the hallway to the right of me. And this is where Vita took me back to the treatment room. Had an amazing facial. Shout out to Vita. My skin is absolutely glowing. And I have to say, I do not look 42. Good facials and good genes. So thank you, Vita, and thank you, Mom. But as I was walking down that hallway, I had this flashback to 12 years ago. And I just had to laugh yesterday because Sarah of 12 years ago, standing in that exact same spot, could never have fathomed what her life would look like 12 years into the future. I was there confronting shoplifters, literally like not knowing what to do, being scared for my safety, underpaid, like feeling very lost in my life, pregnant in an unhappy marriage, just so many unknowns and so much confusion and disappointment about what I thought my life would look like, what I thought I was meant for, and questioning whether I had been wrong about myself all along. And I just want to go back 12 years and give that version of me a hug. I also remember, it was during that job, I worked there for exactly a year, that I got married and got pregnant. And I was so relieved to be pregnant because I was so sick of trying to figure out what's my purpose? What am I here for? Like, I knew that I was meant for something big. I knew I was meant for big stages and fame and wealth and impact to truly make a difference on this planet. And clearly it wasn't through stopping shoplifters at a Barney's, and it wasn't waiting tables. I was sick of that lifestyle and of alcohol and everything that kind of came along with the hospitality industry. But I was so disillusioned and sick of searching and feeling like maybe I had been wrong about myself. And so when I got pregnant, I was relieved. I thought maybe this is what will give my life meaning. And I had no idea what was in store for me, all of the heartache or the triumphs or the journey of no longer searching for validation outside of myself through other people, through men, through work, but also that I would find meaning in raising 2 little humans and also impacting the world through my coaching business, that I was going to have everything that I wanted and so much more, but it was going to look nothing like what I thought it was going to look like. And that 12 years later, I would be walking that same hallway, making as much money in a month, making double in a month what I made at that job in a year. That in that same hallway where I was questioning everything, I would be walking on a Monday as a $1 million coach and the most confident, loving, self-loving woman just 12 years later in that exact same spot. It's so surreal. This is my story. It's been my story for the last 12 years, and I still can't believe it when I hear myself say it out loud. It still makes me so emotional. And here's what I want you to know about how I got here. And I can only answer this question now in retrospect. I didn't try to figure out how. Dreams have come true for me that I didn't even know I had back then. I could not have predicted what my life would have looked like. And I also couldn't have sat down that day and planned this all out. I could not have done that. And so many of you are stopping yourself from making dreams come true that maybe you don't even know you have yet. Maybe they're just sensations or ideas or feelings in your body, like you know you're meant for more, even though you don't know exactly what it's going to look like. You can't quite put it on a vision board. You just know that you're meant for more. I didn't know what the more was, but I didn't need to. I didn't know how to get there, but I didn't need to. All I needed to do was be honest with myself about what I wanted and take that one next step. I just needed to be honest with myself about what I wanted and have the courage to give it to myself, whether that was leaving my marriage, where I wanted to live, what offers I wanted to make, what I wanted to charge for my coaching business, picking up my phone that first time and making that first offer, or going live for the first time, or taking my handwritten sign to the park to coach passersby. Which, by the way, I never signed a client from that, but it did skyrocket my confidence. That's all I needed to do. That is what got me here. It wasn't the perfect strategy. It wasn't the perfect funnel. It wasn't the perfect plan. It wasn't experience. It wasn't training. It wasn't certifications. It was just a willingness to be brutally honest with myself about what I wanted and feel all of the emotion that came up from that honesty, and having the audacity and the courage to say yes to myself over and over and over and over again. And I just want to take this moment to go back 12 years and say thank you to Sarah, who was standing in front of those fitting rooms being like, what the fuck is my life? Because she was really brave. There was so much that she didn't know. There was so much insecurity and so much lack of trust, but I trusted myself enough. And that version of me is the version that has given me Sarah of today. 12 years later, gets to walk into Rescue Spa as $1 million coach, looking like $1 million, feeling like $1 million, having made $1 million, impacting women around the world, helping them to be the version of themselves that they always knew was possible, raising the two most incredible young men, and being absolutely in love with my life, all 50-50 of it. The good times, the bad times, the hard times, the times that feel easy, when I'm iconic and glowing and riding high, and when my vibration is so low and slow, loving all of it. And I didn't need to know how, didn't need to have it all figured out. And yet here we are. And you deserve to give yourself the satisfaction of telling your own story like this. The details are going to look different, but the sentiment will feel the same. You deserve to give yourself that moment. You don't have to figure out the how right now. Just decide to be honest with yourself about what you want and give it to yourself, one step at a time, one messy action at a time. Okay? I'm going to keep it short and sweet for today because I am on my way to make another dream come true. I am on my way to ballet rehearsal for our recital that is in a few weeks, where my teacher has chosen me to be at the head of the entire class for the first opening number of the recital. And that is another story for another day. I can't get into it right now because I've got fresh makeup on and that will reduce me to tears very quickly. But I will record a podcast episode on that because that story is also really amazing and deserves to have its moment. And I want to inspire you and hopefully encourage you to start dancing again. So I'm going to go put on my pink leotard and my tights and my ballet shoes and go dance for a couple hours. I love you so much, and I will see you soon.